What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are not going to be working on the Corrado. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting on a bunch of parts for that to come in, so we'll have to put that on pause. But in the meantime, we are going to work on my 92 Montana Green Mark II. Recently, I just tried to put this car back on the road, and it decided it was a great time for the clutch to go out. So today we'll be dropping the 02A trans out of it and replacing the clutch. A buddy of mine, Luke, hooked me up with this clutch at the perfect time, so thank you, Luke. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull this trans, drop it, and see what the damage is. And I might have ordered something for this that I shouldn't have, but we'll see what that is here in a minute. Let's get to it. All right, so first I'm going to go ahead and remove these 3 13s that hold the shifter bracket on, and I'm also going to remove the cable ends and fold this whole assembly up and out of the way. Ahead and remove these 2 13s and pull the slave out and put it aside as well, and then that way I don't have to mess with bleeding my system. I'm just going to leave everything hooked up. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and pull all the wires off the starter, and then also pull all this wiring back that's near the front mount and get it all out of the way. Alright, so since we got the wiring out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and pull this 18mm out of the engine bracket, and then these 2 13s, one holds the tab on for the wiring, and the other one goes all the way through, and it holds the starter on. And then I'm also going to go down and pull the bolt for the other side of the starter. Alright, so since the starter's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and remove the remaining bell housing bolts. There's one about this area of the trans and one dead center of the top. I can't get a good video of it, but I'm going to remove those, and then we'll put it back up on the lift and get the axle bolts out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these triple squares out of both sides of the axle cups, and then try to get these axles out of the way so they don't get in the way of pulling the transmission down. Alright, so after getting the axle bolts out, I went ahead and pulled both of the ball joints, the spindle. I pulled the bolt out and dropped the control arm, and then pulled away so that I could separate the axle cup from the axle. Hopefully this gives me enough room on both sides to where I can just drop the transmission down without the axles getting in the way. I went ahead and removed, there is a bell housing bolt right above the passenger axle cup, and then there's a bell housing bolt right here. And then also there's another one that goes through the front mount on the bottom side right here, and then there's a couple bolts up on the top of the transmission on the top transmission mount. That's all that's left holding it on. We'll go ahead and remove those and try to wiggle this thing out of here. All right, so I had to have old man come out and help me take the trans out. I kept getting caught up on the passenger side cup. It was getting hung on the back side of the flywheel. So all I did was climb up under there and beat the cup out and then pull it down on my chest. But we went ahead and got that out. I went ahead and put a new crank seal, rear main seal in it. So I don't have to worry about that. And then this came in today. I went ahead and bought an Autotech light and flywheel for it. And then I got the used clutch setup that's only got like 2,000 miles roughly on it. And then we have everything laid out so we can go ahead and put this thing back together. So I'm gonna do a video of me putting the flywheel and everything on, and then we'll wrestle the transmission back up in there. All right, so I went ahead and put the transmission back in the car and got everything buttoned up. I didn't film the end of the video because I was really focused on getting the car back together. But right now we're getting ready to warm it up, and then we're gonna go rip on it for a little bit and make sure that everything's okay. So I hope y'all have a good one and enjoy the rest of this video with the VR6 sounds. Peace.